Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is February 14th of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland has greenlit a false flag Russian attack and invasion of multiple countries in Europe for the morning of Sunday, February 15th. Of 2026, specifically to trigger all-out nuclear World War III. So, as I've been detailing for the last few weeks, I have discovered that the CIA has created what I'm calling a shadow army of roughly 150,000 Ukrainian troops. During this ongoing war with the Russo-Ukrainian War, which started in 2014 with the annexation of Crimea, and then continued on with the Russian invasion of Ukraine in February of 2022. And the numbers, as I stated, appear to be grossly inflated. We have more war footage from the Vietnam War, talking about people being killed, both civilian and military, from the Vietnam War than we do from the Russo-Ukrainian War. We see a missile strike here and there. We don't know if this is AI. We don't know how old this footage is. We don't know if it's really happening in real time. And so I believe that they have grossly inflated these numbers, especially on the Ukrainian side, because according to Wikipedia, the latest numbers put the Ukrainian death toll, cumulatively speaking, at 140,000. And this number is key because this is the amount of troops that the CIA plans to invade Europe with on the morning of February 15th of 2026, specifically to trigger World War III. So exactly how this is going to go down is obviously not known, but it appears that the CIA is going to dress these Ukrainian troops in Belarusian or Belarusian uniforms. This comes on the heels of them trying to stage this exact same attack wearing Russian uniforms, but because the CIA has staged Russian military drills in Belarus, namely Zapad 2021 and Zapad 2025, which I'm going to get into in a minute, coincidentally consisting of 150,000 Russian troops in Belarus executing CBRN exercises, which is chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear exercises in Belarus. The CIA plans to stage a Belarusian attack targeting multiple European states. And the notion that Putin would employ an army from a foreign army to fight his battles was evident when he hired troops from North Korea to fight on the front lines in Ukraine. So this was designed to foreshadow and set the precedent for a secondary event using mercenaries to fight against NATO. Coincidentally, the date of February 15th marks exactly 68 days since the CIA assassinated a UK paratrooper in Ukraine, which appears to be a blood sacrifice offered up to this impending attack, which is going to be an airborne attack. So they're going to drop these troops behind NATO lines on the Russian side, and then they're going to be coming into NATO countries, which I'm going to get into in a minute. But in the event of a second paratrooper-related event on the date of February 15th, it would mark two such events in 69 days. And then we have the 69 numerology, which was found in the nuclear attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, August 6th, August 9th, respectively, 1945. And then we have the 26 numerology, which equates to letter Z in the English alphabet, which is an acronym for Zionism. Also, the date of February 15th marks exactly 152 days since the CIA staged Zapad 2025 in Belarus, as I mentioned, back on September 12th through September 16th of 2025, which consisted of 150,000 Russian troops doing CBRN-related exercises. The number 152, because the 5 and the 2 are symbolically the letter S. This is ISS or ISIS, which is the name of CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva. And as you'll see, as I'm going through this numerology, you'll see that the CIA in Switzerland and being the first Jewish state, this has their signature, because as all serial killers, they always leave their signature, and they do it in a numeric form, which I have identified. It appears that because of this drill that they're going to launch out of Belarus, or claim that they were launched out of Belarus, hence the need to wear Belarusian uniforms, military uniforms. Because as I've stated, if NATO countries get attacked by Ukrainian troops wearing Belarusian or Russian uniforms, they can't tell that they're Ukrainian, because they speak the same language, Russian, a variation thereof, but you have to be a native tongue, or you have to be trained in that to be able to tell the difference, and on the battlefield would be impossible. The date of February 15th also marks 1,452 days since the Russian invasion of Ukraine back on February 24th of 2022. Of course, this number has the number 42, which equates to the letter X, which is the international symbol of death, because this attack is going to start World War III. Also, the date of February 15th marks exactly 1,614 days since the CIA staged Zapad 2021, which was also in Belarus back on September 10th through the 15th of 2021, which also featured, coincidentally, 150,000 Russian soldiers. So we have 140,000 dead Ukrainians, and we have 150,000 Russian drills, and that is because this is the exact amount, or roughly the exact amount, that are going to be used in this impending invasion. And of course, this attack, as I mentioned, is going to be chemical, biological, radiological in nature. It's likely going to feature the deployment of biological or chemical weapons, similar to what happened in World War I, World War II. We're likely going to see the mass dispersal of blood agents, choking agents, and nerve agents across into Europe. This is likely going to be delivered by the Israeli Air Force, who is likely going to drop these paratroopers behind enemy lines with stealth aircraft, or in the aftermath of a cyber attack targeting NATO radar stations, because they have to get these 150,000 troops in airplanes. Is going to be a fleet of, I would guess at least 100 planes at minimum. So they're going to have to transport them in the air across or nearby the NATO line, and if they're flying, they have to be undetected, otherwise they're going to get shot down. So exactly how this is going to play out is not known, but I would surmise that these troops will likely be flown in or paratroopered into somehow into Belarus, and I'm sure it's a big country. I'm sure there's places where they could fly in and drop in and then go in and attack. And so Belarus coincidentally borders Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, and Ukraine. So I would imagine that those troops will begin to disseminate forward into NATO territory. Then from Latvia, they would likely go into Estonia, and from Poland, they'd likely go into Germany or Czech Republic. So this is going to be because 150,000 troops is massive. And coincidentally, yesterday, Putin, I don't know if it was attributed to him or if he said it himself, but he said that he could overtake Europe with 15,000 troops. And that is specifically designed to invoke this number that was actually present at the Zapad 2021 and 2025 CBRN drills in Belarus. And coincidentally, we have this weekend, we have the what is called the Munich Security Conference going on in Munich, Germany, which is basically like a de facto NATO conference. And so they are sitting there anticipating. The ones that are in the know are waiting for the green light, because this is going to change the entire world. They're talking about a Trump world order and all this stuff like that, but this attack, this epic false flag, and like I said on the record, this is a false flag of false flags, because the hoax is epic, which is why they have given themselves two options: either to have the Ukrainians wear Belarusian uniforms or Russian uniforms. And because over the last few weeks I have highlighted the Russian aspect, now they're resorting to the Belarusian aspects. Coincidentally, we see this numerology because the chemical weapons are measured in amounts of cc. I think it's cubic centimeter. I'm not a biology guy, but that's how they measure it in cc, which is 33. And then we have the president of Belarus. The date of February 15th marks exactly 11,533 days since he became president back on July 20th of 1994. And the date of February 15th also marks 33,522 days since the Jewish Autonomous Oblast. Most people have never heard of it. It's called JAO. It's located in the far east of Russia, north of North Korea. And this is how the CIA controls the Kremlin, is through this de facto, which is the second Jewish state after Switzerland. So you have Switzerland was the first Jewish state circa 1309. You have the second Jewish state in far east Russia back on May 7th of 1934, and then you have the third Jewish state of the State of Israel, May 14th, 1948. So there's three of them. And the date of February 15th marks exactly 33,522 days. So we have the CC numerology, because this impending attack is going to be horrific. And so I surmise, based off previous plots and previous attempts by the CIA to trigger World War III, especially in respect to the NATO-Russo border, I would surmise that this is going to be a multifaceted attack, likely consisting of the Israeli Air Force, the Ukrainian military, working together. So you have a Jewish Zionist named Vladimir Zelensky heading the Ukraine side, and then you have a Jewish Zionist named Benjamin Netanyahu heading the Israeli side, and they are just foaming at the mouth to trigger World War III, and they have received their orders from Geneva, the first Jewish state, which is where the first ever Zionist Congress was held in Basel, Switzerland in the late 1800s, and so they have ordered their henchmen of their respective militaries to work in tandem and to trigger this World War III with the shadow army of roughly what I surmise is 150,000 troops that are going to be bulldozing their way through peaceful Europe on the morning of February 15th of 2026. And so all is not going to be quiet on the Eastern Front come Sunday, February 15th. So obviously, if the CIA stages any sort of Russian offensive or Belarusian offensive, whether these Ukrainian troops decide to wear Russian uniforms or uniforms from Belarus, it doesn't matter. What they're trying to do is, because on the Ukrainian side, they want the United States to fight Russia. So on the Israeli side, they're trying to get the United States into a war with Iran. Either way, it equals World War III, and this is one of their heinous plots, which is Plan B of this heinous plot, because the first option was Russian uniforms and the second option is Belarusian uniforms. So obviously, if this happens, I would kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.